Hello again, my fellow Jeti users. Welcome back to another of my little training videos. And in this one, I'm dealing with a request from Victor, who has an F5J glider. And what he wants is to be able to switch the motor on and off simply using a momentary switch. So for that, I'm going to use my spring-loaded switch down here. But Victor also wants to be able to use a 3-position switch to select between motor, low, medium and high power settings. Okay, straightforward enough to do that and have our safeties and safety switches and motor offs built into it as well. Now, when you want to compare two things, which is the position of the spring-loaded switch and my position of a 3-position switch down here, that entails the use of a logic switch. If you've watched my series of introduction to using logic switches, you would have heard me say that when you need to compare two or more things, that's when you use a logic switch. However, we want selectable settings, but the ability to go to off as well. So that's actually 4 values of the motor run. We'll want it at -100 to be off, but then low, medium and high throttle is 4 different settings there. So it means we need to build in a quite separate curve for the 3-position switch to use. So with all that in mind, let's dive in. We need a new function, which will be, we'll call it throttle 2. Okay, there we go. And it will be operated by the 3-position switch. Okay. Then I need a logic switch. And control 1 is going to be that additional function that we have created, throttle 2, which incidentally it does not need a servo assigned to it. It's there purely to provide us with a throttle function curve. So we assign control 1 here. It's not the switch, the 3-position switch, because that would just give us a -100, 0 and +100 values. We need the function curve so we can actually select the different throttle values. So we go in there, scroll down to function, throttle 2. It needs to be proportional. Say OK to that. And come along here, type needs to be linear. So we actually get an output number rather than just on off. Okay. Come down. Control 2 now will be the spring-loaded switch, the momentary switch, the button, whatever it is you want to use. So just do that. There we go. And then the condition is AND. So now this in effect is always switched on because it's just now a number. So with the AND condition needs control number 2, the momentary switch, to be in the on position. If I pull it on, there it goes. And the value here will go to whatever value it's getting from function here, which at the moment will be -100, 0, and +100, because that's what a function curve defaults to. Okay, and if I release the spring-loaded switch, it goes to 100 and it sits there. It doesn't matter what I do with the 3-position switch for the value of the throttle. Well, that's good. That means that I release the spring-loaded switch or the momentary switch, the motor is going to go to the off position, but I now have the 3 separate values of the 3-position switch when I pull that one. Okay, come out of there, back into model, function assignment, go to the throttle and change that to the logic switch output. Clear that, plus logic switch there. Okay. Okay, let's have a look at the servo. It's servo 1. Now, I'll put the motor power switch at one end, which is probably going to be the -100. So when I pull the spring-loaded switch, that probably won't change, because at the moment we've selected -100. There we are. But I'll now move the 3-position switch. There we go, and you can see the value changing. Lovely. Now we can set those in the function curve. So fine-tuning the function curve for throttle 2, that's the whole reason it exists, is this function curve. Change it to a 3-pointer, come down here, and Well, minus 100 would be motor off. That's not a low throttle setting. Let's pick minus 55, plus 10. And I expect your full throttle or high throttle setting, you'd want full throttle. You'd want the 100%. But just for the sake of demonstration, I'll bring that down to there, 74. So those will be the three values we should see. Throttle output servo setting of minus 55, plus 10, plus 74. Okay, let's have a look. It's switched off, so the motor is off, minus 100. I will pull the spring-loaded switch, and there we are, minus 55, plus 10, plus 74. So you can switch between them, switch off. Always when you release the momentary switch, it goes to the off position. So there we are. You get the four output values completely off, low, medium, high throttle setting. Exactly what we want. Now, for a bit of additional safety, does it still work with the throttle cut? Yes, it does. So we'll choose our throttle cut switch. I use this locking toggle. You have to pull it up, move it, release it. You can't accidentally knock it off. Great for something safe like the throttle. Say OK to that. Switch it off for the moment. Come back. Let's have a look at the servo. So it's in the motor run condition at the moment, so that all works. I'll move it to the motor locked off. The throttle cut is on. And now, there we go. Doesn't work. We're locked at the off position. Release that, switch it on, pull that, and we've got our control. So there you go. Have fun with that.